All right, we're gonna go live. We're going live. Three, two, one. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the show. It's not a good morning. It's not a good afternoon today. Apparently, there was a school shooting at a private Christian school in Nashville, Tennessee. I am going to do a little bit of live coverage. I got the local TV station on pause. I'm just going to say real quickly, of course, the Let's Go Brand administration doesn't say anything about what it said at the beginning. Oh, it's a political thing. We need to tell Congress to uh, send the bill assault bans weapons. And these people are not, they're still in the school. It's just sometimes you just say, what in the world's going on with this administration? They say politics of gun control. But they not say, they said something a little bit about the victims. They didn't say about that, but they're making this into a political conversation. And now the next thing that's going to happen, next hours and days, the Democrats going to blame Republicans. It's going to be political, and these people don't even have not any funerals yet, or thinking about it. There are three kids and three adults that passed away today, and this administration and the drive-by media is calling for assault weapons ban. So we're gonna go in here and do some live coverage on a local Fox station in Nashville. And a lot of people probably listen to it at work, so I'm gonna put this out there. If you want to come in and talk about what's going on, we can go ahead and do that. The link is up there, and we're gonna continue to do a coverage about what happened today.
Hey, I wish it was, but it's just not the story today. It's not the story here at Vanderbilt. And so we'll continue to be eyes and ears out here for you all, and we'll report more of what we see and what we know.
So well said. And I don't know what else you can say at this point. And I just found out I got a text from my wife that Sissy Goff mentioning a child counselor down on Baptist. They're offering their services. They're with Daystar Counseling Ministries here in Nashville. The parents, anybody who just needs to pour their heart out or find some sense of security on a day where it feels like there is none.
And TBI's David Wright of the TBI said, and it's something that we sometimes don't think about. He said, we believe in prayer in the South. And we know we've all said, oh, we need more than prayers and thoughts and good wishes. But prayer is definitely part of how we operate. And we need that too, from everybody. Absolutely. I mean, you just have to.
Prayers for everybody involved, right? You have those three sets of parents who will never see their kid again, three staff members who will never have their loved ones walk through the door. And it's such a senseless act of violence, something that did not have to happen, and unfortunately did, right? Nobody thought that this was going to be the outcome when they sent their little kid to school today. And so it's just a tough reality that everybody is dealing with this afternoon. We've been hearing from law enforcement throughout the day. And something that we have heard both from President Biden and also Chief John Drake is just the response time from Metro Nashville Police. That active shooter call came in, guys, at 10:13. The shooter was taken down at 10:27 this morning.
It was quick.
Incredible. It was quick. And it just speaks to the fact that more lives weren't lost in this. And it also just goes to show that Metro Nashville Police, they had the training and the directive to go in immediately. There was no, we're going to wait and
like Uvalde.
Like Uvalde, when we have seen such just a criticalness of the way that the Arundel down there handled that and how they waited for so long. That's not what we are seeing here. Everybody quick to point out just how lucky we are to have the men and women who serve on Metro Nashville Police.
And one thing that's improved so greatly is not only the response time, but also the partnerships. You heard them allude to this, federal partnerships, state partnerships, local agencies all working together, and that certainly helps. If you're just now joining us, we do.
Okay, so basically, I'll give you a quick update what's going on. There was a school shooting at a private Christian school in Nashville, Tennessee, earlier this morning, around 10:30, 10:45 this morning. There are 6 people that passed away through this shooting. The suspect was shot and killed by police. That's what we know. And we also know something very interesting. The suspect is not a man. It's not a teenager. It is a 29-year-old woman. Yeah, so that's very unusual. We don't. I think she's probably yeah, she is a Caucasian woman. So this is not going to be a racial thing. Apparently, she is a former student. So we got that going on. So yes, it's going to be one of those interesting days. So we're going to go back to the coverage, and then I'm going to come in a few minutes.
I immediately went into school, went to where gunshots were being heard, and engaged the suspect. We have identified the suspect right now, tentatively a 28-year-old female white. We know the address of that person as well, and so we have some ongoing investigations as to that. We have 3 adult victims, and we have 3 children that have been identified, and their families have been contacted. Right now, I will refrain from saying the ages, other than to say I was literally moved to tears to see this and the kids as they were being ushered out of the building. I want to say thanks to all of our partners, to the FBI, to the ADF, and other federal partners, to the THP, Tennessee Highway Patrol, the TBI, the district attorney, and to the fire department, who all came together and seamlessly addressed this situation.
All right, so I'm going to cut in real quick. For those of you coming in, this is breaking news. There was a school shooting at a private elementary school in Nashville, Tennessee. There were 6 victims, 3 adults, and sadly to say, 3 children. The suspect was shot and killed by police. As far as we know, we don't know if she committed suicide. But this is a very interesting thing. This is not a man. It's not a teenage woman. I'm sorry, a teenage girl. The suspect was a 28-year-old white female. So they had a police interview, a news conference saying that they know who she is, they know her address, and that's all they're gonna say about that. But the thing is, I always when I talk about this, what's going on, the shootings, the Let's Go Brandon administration has to put they got to put it politics in front of this. What happened? Now the Biden administration are calling Congress to get a bill for an assault weapons ban. And I'm going to say this real quickly. There's no such thing as assault weapon. They said it was like an AR-15. The AR-15 is not a fully automatic rifle. Let me repeat that. AR-15 assault rifles are not a fully automatic weapon. If you want to get a fully automatic, it's going to cost you at least thousands of dollars to get that. And now they're trying to say this could be a political issue, but it's not. Um, Sadly to say, the Democratic administration, well, here's and thanks for asking your question. Um, assault weapons ban. Assault. There's no such thing as assault weapons. Assault weapon. They are talking about a AR-14 AR assault weapon. AR is that's the name of the AR-15. That's the name of the gun. That's the name of the manufacturer. It is not a fully automatic weapon. It's semi. Anybody, when you shoot these kind of weapons, you don't just pull the trigger and bullets come out. You gotta shoot the weapon one at a time. Now I have fired an AR-15. Yes, I fired a gun like that. I also fired a 9mm. You can use a 9mm and fire as fast as your trigger can go. They're saying it's an automatic rifle, but I don't know. This is this is not the. I don't get it. Bear Cruiser, thank you for your comment. Yes, yes, bueno. So well, here's the thing. If you really want to know what's going on with that, it's it's simple as this: the mass shootings were happening during the Democratic and Republican administration. When I was going to school, they didn't have, um, a lot of people going to say, "Hey, what are you talking about?" I'm talking about parents and kids like fools. Like the shooting in Texas, that kid was raised by a single mom, no father, no discipline whatsoever. He got mad. The guy that did that in Texas got mad at his grandmother because the grandmother took away his phone. I mean, hey, yeah, that's shooting his wife. Oh, you want to know why? There's not a lot of shootings in Australia and New Zealand because you don't have a right to bear arms. They don't have a American Constitution. That's one of the reasons why you don't have it. You don't have it. You don't have it. You're trying to tell everybody in America you get rid of guns. That's not going to happen. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. And most of these school shootings, I hate to say this, most of these school shootings are people that are not supposed to have guns at all. We don't know about the subject of this one. We don't know if she has a criminal record. We don't know how she got the guns. But what I'm saying is this: there is no such thing as assault weapon. Only a fully automatic machine gun. They only have that in the military. They are military. They call it a military style, but it's not a military style. Only the military has a weapon like the M16, AR-15, and yeah, a lot of people gonna say yes. Great conversation, guys. This is a great conversation. Yes, yes. It's like the old west. Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. But well, yeah, that's true in the old west. Yeah, but as far as that is concerned, my family we had guns in the house. My father said, "You don't touch these guns," and I obeyed my parents. These knuckleheads are carrying guns right now. Don't care. They're raised by no parents whatsoever. They're raised by watching TV, and that's why you're seeing this. You know what? Here's the thing about this. This is gonna be. I hate doing this, but every single day in Chicago, there's shootings. Every weekend, there's shootings. Every single weekend. You don't hear it because there's so much going on. Yes, in Democrat-controlled cities like Chicago, Philadelphia, New Orleans, there are shootings every weekend. You know why they won't cover it? Because it's not in their format. They won't get ratings for that. So when one of these things happen, a school shooting is a gun-free zone. The criminal knows about that. They're not going to obey the law. A lot of people don't want to talk about it. Let me see here. Great questions. Every other day, and once a week. Yeah, but here's the thing. Once again, I gotta say this: national media just doing a school shooting, but the national media won't do the drive-by shootings. Won't do the drive-by shootings in Chicago. You know why? Because it's not in their format. There's more shooting. I like saying this. A lot of people like my channel. Thank you guys for coming in. Um, there's a lot more shootings every weekend. The major networks won't cover it. They only cover the mass school shootings. And I'm going to say this again. Every criminal knows if there's a no gun zone anywhere, they're not going to obey that. They're going to go, if their mindset of hitting somebody or hurting somebody, they're going to go after that. It's the mind of these people. It's not the gun. People don't understand. The gun cannot shoot by itself. These guns cannot shoot by itself. You can't just put the gun on the table and it'll go off. No. It's the mind of these knuckleheads. And why people don't want to talk about the mind? They don't want to talk about how he's raised or she was raised. They don't want to talk about the family issue either. It's a family issue. A lot of people don't want to say that, but it is a family issue. All right, so we're gonna go back. I just want to explain. Thank you for all your questions. Uh, thank you for all your questions.
We don't know. Obviously, that might have something to do with what happened, but we'll find out more. It's the upcoming days. There's a lot to digest.
It is, and just seeing that, we just went to stick to your stomach. I mean, I
Yeah.
can't even process some of this now that we're talking about families who will not be reunited today. If that reunification process still happens, it would not happen down the street. What those children are thinking, what the parents are thinking, what to say, what's the right answer. Cece Goff, who's a counselor, a friend of mine with Daystar Counseling Ministries here in Nashville, trying to connect her with Ben Hall, who's still there at Woodlawn Baptist. They're offering their support just to talk to anyone who needs to get this off their chest. Because we mentioned earlier from authorities, they talked about the PTSD, even for the bonding team. First
Oh,
responders
sure.
going there and seeing this scene, for them processing this and dealing with this, and what this means for not only here in Nashville, but all across the country. The president weighed in on this just so. So we'll see what legislation perhaps is at least discussed here in Tennessee and Nashville to see where we go from here.
Just hope it's not more of the same, because every time there's a school shooting, this happens. We say, we got to do something, but nothing's really done.
And you hear from our people there on the ground how
That's
much.
not very good.
Okay. So, there's aftermath. I just want to say before we continue with this, um, the suspect was shot and killed by police. The suspect was a 28-year-old female. It looks like she was a former student of this private Christian college. It's not been confirmed yet. That's what it's coming out. And yes, Australia. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Um, yes. Australia was a prison uh, continent. Yes. Back in the day, England used to send their people, their prisoners to Australia. But once again, the rules and the laws of Australia is any citizen that is a citizen of Australia cannot bear arms, cannot have a gun. That is not going to happen in America. Most of these school shootings are people that are not supposed to have guns in their possession. The school shooting in Texas was a person under the age of 21. They won't talk about where they got the guns at. You know why? Because it's the parents' responsibility if the parents are not in the house. Parents' responsibility is to raise these kids and they're not doing their jobs. All the school shootings you've seen here, except for this one, because we don't know the whole story. We had a school shooting in the Dallas Fort Worth area. A teenager went to the school, shot somebody, because he got in an argument with somebody. We don't know where he got the gun at. He is a teenager. The age limit to have a handgun in the state of Texas is 18. And a lot of people say, well, we should just get rid of all the guns. And it's not going to happen. And it's not going to happen because you got to change the Constitution. Right to bear arms is in the Constitution, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of you don't like it. My dad owned a gun. My mom owned a gun. They were licensed to carry. My brother, sister had a license to carry, but they're responsible people. You know why? Because we don't break the law. Okay, so that's a good question. That is a good question. Let's see here. A handgun is like a 45 9 millimeter. The rounds are from 9 to 15. A uh, a semi-automatic rifle has a clip magazine. Now, I agree with you. The clip magazine should be limited to at least 10 or 20. There are some stores, some people on the internet buy these big old stocks, so like 200 rounds, like you're saying, those should be illegal. Yes, 200 rounds should be illegal. But you got a whole thing, to think about it. But like I said, all these mass shootings are from people that are not supposed to have guns. They're not supposed to have guns. They're not old enough, or they have a criminal record. Most of these guys that you see in the drive-by shootings are people that are not supposed to have guns. They got criminal records. Criminal records. The criminal justice system don't care. If they care so much, they arrest these knuckleheads. And all this violence has because of parents not being responsible to raise these kids. I'll say it before and I'll say it again. It is the parents' responsibility to raise the kids. They're not doing it anymore. And I hate to say this, most of these kids are being raised by a single mom. Most of these criminals are. And I don't blame the single moms. I blame the single moms, but I also blame the fathers. I blame the fathers on this one too. Don't get me twisted. Nick Cannon has 12 kids for the 5 different women. When you do that, you're not a father. You're just a sperm bank. You had no criticism for that. I'm telling you, the family values issue is messed up by the government, the Democrat Party, the drive-by media, and entertainment. It's messed up. It's messed up. And those of you that support the Democrat Party, it's your fault. It is your fault. You want to lower the standards of families? You want to say no man? You see the single mom. You see the lady. Mom, no man's gonna tell me what to do. No man's. I could raise my own kids and use the government to pay them. All this is coming together. It's the yeah. Yeah, so they are. Yeah, okay, so yeah, they are covering. They are covering, and basically, great example in Chicago. WGM is the one of the one of the networks in Chicago. They cover it, but major. I'm trying to tell you, the major networks won't cover it. CNN, ABC, CBS. They won't cover it because it's not in their format. And the person that was responsible for the city of Chicago got voted out. Yes, the former Mayor Beetlejuice got voted out because that city was not safe. When she was in there, gun violence went up, drive-by shootings went up, and the mayor says, "Oh, that's not my fault. That's the white people's fault. That's the police fault." No, it's her fault. Her job is to make her city safe. She not do her job. That's why she quit. That's why she got fired. Well, yeah. I'm gonna say this again. I'm gonna say this again. You cannot blame the guns. Don't blame the guns. The guns don't have no fear. Don't have no heart. It's material. For example, you say that I agree with you, but you also say, hey, if a car kills somebody, you gonna ban the car? Or if alcohol kills you, are you gonna ban the alcohol? Cigarette smoking kills everybody every day. You gonna ban cigarettes? No. You know why? Because it's not the actions of the cigarette, it's not the actions of alcohol, it's not the actions of a car. It's the actions of a person that has no self-respect for anybody, not even themselves. That's the problem. The problem is the downfall of the American family. The downfall is the American family. There's no structure in the family. I blame the mom. I blame they're not mom, the dad. They're sperm. They are sperm and egg donors. Sex without marriage. Hey, there we go. Prime example. Prime example. Why are we gonna say, "Hey, why you go? You're so old fashioned"? No, I'm not old fashioned. When my parents got together, they waited until they get married to have sex, and they decided when they're gonna do that, how they're gonna raise their kids. They did that. When I was growing up, one parent was home, and now you gonna say, "Oh, they can do that"? Yes, they can. Yes, they can. They see the parents, the people that are raising these kids only think about their careers. They're not even thinking about their kids. You know who's teaching their kids? Media. Who's teaching the kids? Hollywood. Video games. I could go on and on and on. But yes, I could go on and on and on. I just put it out there for a minute. Uh, yeah, the guns can't stop this show. Yes. So basically, your question is, should we get rid of guns? No. Nope. We're not going to get rid of guns. Don't even think about it. What about the rules? Criminals. Now, I get this question all the time. We should make better laws. Well, let me see here. A criminal is a person that breaks the laws. Let me say that again. A criminal is a person that breaks the law. So if you're gonna have some new laws, these criminals are gonna break the laws anyway. How you beat this? It comes with the family. You cannot blame the guns. You cannot blame the guns. You gotta blame the people that are using these guns. It all starts of education, family, and responsibility. A lot of people don't want to talk about it. Oh, yeah. A lot of people don't want to talk about that. Oh, you're old fashioned, you're old school. You know what? Old fashioned works. I am a product of being old fashioned. My parents raised me to have common sense to tell me the difference between right and wrong. You know why? And I'm 56 years old. I had no criminal record. You know why? Because I obeyed my parents. I had I had parents. I had one grandma. There know my grandfather, but I had adopted parents. I had people in my church looking out for me. You know why? Because they cared for me. Junior high school, I had them people watching me because they care for me. These people that are having children don't care about you anymore. Only thing they care about is child support, child support, child support. Well, you should have done that when you got married. You got responsibility when you have these kids. You're selfish if you think, oh, I'm gonna divorce my wife or am I gonna divorce my husband and they're gonna take care of the kids. No, it was the two of you that had this kid. You're responsible for that kid. You're supposed to teach them the difference between right and wrong. How can I explain that? The parents, these parents are not doing their job. They're not doing their job. They're yeah, yeah, um, yeah, I know. A lot of people say, "Why you gonna talk about this all day?" No, I'm not gonna talk about this all day because I came on this channel to just state my facts, just did a report. Let me go ahead and check
unspeakable and unimaginable tragedy and grief that's taking place here today. We do know counselors are there on hand at Woodmont Baptist talking to these parents and these children who are seeking some sense of security on this awful afternoon here in Nashville.
And we were told earlier about the reunification center that the way they're doing it as far as bringing the
Okay, so they're just doing an update. So when we get out of here, and just saying that today we had a major tragedy, a school shooting at a private Christian school. The suspect was a female. We don't know if she was a former student. We don't know the reason why she went to do that. But the thing I need to talk about real quickly, the drive-by media, the Democrat Party, and this knucklehead Brandon president says we need more laws. We need to ban the assault weapons ban. And I'm gonna say this again. There's no such thing as assault weapons. A knife could be assault weapons. A car could be assault weapons. A truck could be assault weapons. An airplane could be assault weapons. So we got to get out of this format that is assault weapons. Is these knucklehead people that have these guns that try to take over an airplane, to drive drunk and kill somebody? It's not the products, it's the people that we need to fix. All right, guys, I got to get out of here. I got to go back to my regular channel, Clues channel. Thank you guys for all your information. Thank you, Bear Bill Cruising, on this channel, my main channel, the Z Show. And yes, I'll be coming back tonight to do an update on that. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit that button and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate it. Y'all have a good day.